about 10:11. The next item on the agenda under other business is the Town of Woodbury review of drafting regulations. Now, administratively, the next action is for the Commission to discuss the regulation changes in the form of an application. It wasn't given an application number, but in fact it is an application. So that needs to happen. In view of the fact that it's not on the agenda as an action item tonight, we cannot act on it tonight. We can certainly discuss it tonight, but we cannot act.
Can't we make a motion like we did to add an item to an agenda? Based upon what scenario? I mean, what's the...
Because half of the people who were here knew there was no action item, and they've left. That's why not.
But they also left...
That's the ultimate in subterfuge. Wait till everybody leaves, then add an action item to the agenda that they were all here to listen to. I'm not going to do it. But I don't mind yielding the floor to Mr. Clarke. But if he wants to do it, I am going to recuse myself. I'm unseated at 12 minutes.
My 2 cents is, I don't know how long this can go on. I am tired of these meetings going to midnight. At some point we have to deal with this. I think it's not that big of it was on the agenda. Anyone who wanted to see it would have stayed for it to be on the agenda. I say we deal with it and move forward.
Can we ask Mr. Clarke to seat whoever is going to be seated in Chairman Overton's place? Can we do that first?
What happened to Martin Overton?
I'm relinquishing himself.
Why?
I'm recusing myself.
Is a point of order, is ex officio Jerry Stomsky, first selectman. May I inquire why your chairman up and left and why your vice chairman is now up and leaving? You're reclusing yourself for the purpose of?
Stalling the issue.
So they can't discuss...
Excuse me, this is a question to Mr. Clarke, and I would have asked Mr. Overton, but you have a duty, he has a duty. I'm confused why he left, but now I'm asking you, because you're still here, your purpose of reclusing and leaving the meeting is because of?
I'm recusing myself because I do not feel, in the same way that Martin does, that it's proper to do it under other business. Since we have closed the public hearing.
You can't just make your intentions known and still maintain your duty as the vice chairman? You have to get up and leave? I'm just trying to understand the purpose of getting up and leaving.
Isn't there a requirement of law that you have to have, you have to explain why you're recusing yourself? Like,
well, he did. He doesn't agree with what's going on. I guess you take the
is
ball
that
in your back and go
grounds?
home? I'm confused.
It doesn't strike me as grounds to recuse yourself. I mean, Commissioner Teets does because of the legal... Brian, you have experience here. What's the...
I mean, everybody just doesn't like what's going on, so we all go home? I'm confused here.
There's usually a reason for recusal, and the typical reason is I believe, Ms. Teets, because there was a potential conflict of interest. I think that's the normal case, whether and normal procedure. And usually you do need a reason, and I guess certainly it's not staff's point to question the validity of a reason, but there is a reason that's needed, and that's something that I think the other commissioners have to consider, and the point raised by the first selectman.
Bob, are you leaving the premises and going home?
I'm not going home. I'm just...
I don't know what right do you have to leave the meeting? I mean, you're elected to vote on matters in front of you, sir. And this is a matter that people have spoken. They have come to 2 hearings.
I would encourage the both of you, chairman and vice chairman, that if you want to relinquish your duties, then by all means, do it in the proper manner.
In the same way that Mr. Overton recused himself for the reason that he did.
Bob, why don't you seek someone for Martin?
Yeah. And seat someone, and then someone can take over.
Because this is listed here.
It's on the
under
agenda.
Town of Woodbury review draft zoning regulations. I don't see what.
I'm going to appoint Ted then.
I don't know. You got to appoint You may have to boss the secretary.
Oh, that's right, you are the secretary. Forgot, you're so used to
Chuck?
seeing him.
Bob, are you leaving the room?
I am leaving the room.
Mr. Cosgrove, we have 2 openings.
I know,
Okay, thanks, sir.
fully aware. Is the sense to, let's find 2 people.
I think it's Ron and then Sean.
I'm sorry?
Ron and then Sean.
All right, in place of the 2 that recused themselves, seating Ron Judson and Sean Murphy. I have no idea how he marks that. It's in the minutes. Just want to get a sense as to,
Maybe we should make a motion to modify the agenda, same way we modify the agenda for other things.
I make a motion that we modify our agenda to discuss to discuss an item that's not on the agenda currently.
Pending application.
to the pending applications.
Can I just interject?
Sure.
I don't want to interject too much on this, but if you make a motion to discuss an item, you're not allowing any action. And I don't know what your intent is. I'm just clarifying that.
Can you say that again, please?
You made a motion to add to the agenda the discussion of an item.
Now, my motion was to modify the agenda.
Okay.
So I
Modify
need a
the
second.
agenda.
His motion's...
I withdraw my motion.
I need a second.
I will second it.
So,
Okay.
All in favor?
now discussion.
But
On-
to add
discussion on
this,
the
but to
motion.
add, typically when we have a public hearing, we move it for discussion, we add it, or it's typically listed under pending applications so we can discuss it and act on it.
Mhm.
So to add number 5 under pending applications,
That would be 12 ZC 1204. Right?
yes. Any discussion?
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, so it would be 12-ZC 12-1204.
Mm-hmm. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Could you please clarify what the motion is?
It was to modify the agenda to add item 12-ZC 1204 under pending application.
And that was made by Counselor Green. Okay. And it was seconded by,
Murphy.
pardon?
Murphy.
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 Okay?
All right.
So
Okay. You guys want to take this line by
I'll take
line?
it up. My thought is, based on the letter from the Council of Governments, based on the fact that planning did not give us the green light, so to speak, based on public comment we heard tonight, and just for the sake of the commission having a fair say on all the regulations, not just signs, I think we need to vote this down and start fresh. I am in favor of open and honest government, and I'm not sure that we got a fair shake at modifying these regulations before they went to planning.
I have a question before we close discussion. I think given the information we have from our town attorney, what we've heard from credible sources, including Attorney Deb Stevenson, that I feel I would be in dereliction of my duty tonight to not move that we remove this political sign regulation, and we can then, at a later date, revisit it, because if you look at the legal notice, this 7.5.10...
I like that, to split this in 2 sections, to remove the political sign
But
regulation.
that's not what the agenda item is. The agenda item is on the review of draft zoning regulations.
However, in the legal
As
notice...
drafted.
The discussion as
As
they're
drafted.
drafted.
And
So
my
you don't want to split them off, you want to put them all together, leave them together.
put them all together so we have, I don't believe that we've ever had the chance as a commission to discuss our thoughts on
I agree.
on signs.
I agree.
Alan, just a question, where does that leave dealing with this political sign regulation
It
right
just
now?
leaves it in limbo until we discuss it as a commission.
Okay, I got it.
It means that the time period's going to get extended on it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I don't think that under this motion we can change the existing regulations.
No.